So he is covering AI and project management. As I said earlier, AI has touched most of the almost everything in our every walk of life, and it's gonna revolutionize project management as well in a better way. So Piyush is a seasoned business development strategist, and his career is with Oracle Corps, and he has expertise in IT as well. So as a portfolio and program management.
I'll keep hopping actually. Yeah. I'll prefer not to use mic so I can be as natural as possible. Um, so, good afternoon, everybody. And okay, I'll use this thing. नहीं ऐसा ठीक है इट्स ओके इट्स ओके ऐसे भी रहे इधर ही रहने इधर ही रहने
It can be easily movable.
Myself fortunate one that with the first session 2024 for PMI, I'm getting a chance to talk to you all. And great session by Deepali. And it's my fourth session on Posh committee, but every time I listen to it, it's more eye opener, and it makes me more responsible as a leader that we should be more alert in our workplaces than what she defined here. Congratulations to all the PMP certified members. It's a great one. I have not cleared it yet, so I can understand the effort and the passion that you have put in there. So today's my topic is AI and project management. So I will first, since it's a very big buzzword nowadays, I'll make it clear what I'm not going to cover. So in our project management space, we always, start with the scope, right? Scope नहीं है तो गाड़ी फिर scope creep or all these things come, right? So let's define the scope. So I'm not going to cover any technical aspect of it, no algorithms at all, and no technologies. It's going to, so this topic is putting across my own perspective as a project manager. I'm a student of project management since in the company I associated with, we are into project management. So obviously, day in, day out, I am working with all the project managers. And part of my job, I travel across globe and fortunate enough to meet big portfolio managers of the names that we just mentioned, whether it's NASA, Rolex, Bombardier, MACD, and many more. So, yeah, I think we have already covered this, so we'll skip this. How many of you resonate with this? Should I read it for you, or you all can read it? Is this what happens, right? I mean, and in majority of the cases in my office also, or whenever I'm speaking with my friends, because when you are with your friends, you're more natural and casual, right? Otherwise, it's a bit professional. But when you're natural and casual, you actually get to see the real practicability of that particular part. So, yeah, I missed on to talk about that. I am not also going to talk whether it's bad or good. I'm going to, focus the conversation how it is impacting our life as a project manager, where it is impacting more and where it is not impacting. That's going to be the conversation all about. Next slide. What is AI? How many of you comfortable with Hindi and Marathi so that I can make it more interactive? मेरे लिए थोड़ा इजी हो जाएगा. ओके फाइन. सो मेरे लाइफ में ये वर्ड आया था बैक इन 2003 when I was in my last year of engineering. I am a computer science graduate, computer engineer. लाइफ में कभी कोडिंग नहीं किया मैं. तो लास्ट ईयर एंड वी हैड इलेक्टिव्स. दो इलेक्टिव होते थे. तो आई हैड अ फियर फॉर वाइवास. जो तो मैंने मेरे सीनियर को जाकर पूछा, यार मेरे को ऐसा कोई बता है जिसमें वाइवा में ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन ना हो. तो बोले यार एआई ले ले, उसमें एक ही बुक है यूनिवर्सिटी में. अगर उतना बुक कर लेगा ना, कोई है ही नहीं उसके बाहर, कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं. Great. And that's how I was introduced to AI, and that's how I started my journey with AI. So it was just that मुझे ज़्यादा पढ़ना ना पड़े. लोगों को भी पता नहीं था back in 2000, आज भी नहीं पता है. Back in 2003 तो it was यार ठीक है, एक सब्जेक्ट है. And that's how my journey started with an AI. So AI अगर मैं देखूँ layman terms में, so basically it's a simulation of human intelligence in machine, right? This is a definition देखना है तो I think I have written this is the definition of three idiots. ठीक है, क्या क्या नहीं करता है कॉग्निशन वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. ओके, लेट्स नॉट गेट इनटू दिस, लेट्स स्किप दिस. नेक्स्ट. सो थोड़ा सा एक स्टेप आगे सेकेंड स्टैंडर्ड में अगर मुझे देखना है कि what are the categories basically. So at a very broad level, the AI is categorized into three levels. The first one is a narrow AI. That's what we are currently using. So ChatGPT is also a narrow AI. So narrow AI simply defines that it can perform one single task but very precisely. Right? So कोई भी आप AI application ले लो, basically currently whatever we are using, whether it's the Canva PowerPoint or ChatGPT or AI, any image simulation, those are perfect in that particular delivering that task. So it's all narrow AI. Second is the general AI, which is more at par with human. It's still, I would say, in R&D phase, and most of the researchers globally say that it will take another 30 to 40 years to reach at this level with the current pace that we have. So it says the general AI will have a capability of same like what we have, a human who can actually think, act, and then respond. एंड थर्ड इज ऑब्वियसली द सुपर एआई. सो जो हम लोग हॉलीवुड मूवीज में देखते हैं, दैट्स ऑल दे कॉल अ सुपर एआई. Super AI is Matrix movie. If you have seen all, then that's a super AI when the machines will overtake humans. That's the definition of super AI. Now, how these AIs are built. So basically, मैं थोड़ा सा कच्चा हूँ प्रोग्रामिंग एल्गोरिथम्स में, तो मैं थोड़ी चीज़ें लो लेवल पे समझता हूँ. तो बेसिकली देर आर टू वेज टू डू दैट. वन इज अ मशीन लर्निंग wherein you feed the data, and then that's how you make the machines more powerful. It's all about the memory that they carry, the data that they carry. This is that they do some predictive analysis, and that's how they give you the results. The second is the rule based. हम लोग all अभी लाइफ में सारे रूल बेस्ड ही यूज करें. वॉट एवर सॉफ्टवेयर वी आर यूजिंग, इट्स ऑल रूल बेस्ड, राइट? यू पुट अ कंडीशनल लॉजिक, द मोर सिनारियोज, द मोर कंडीशंस दैट यू अप्लाई, it will give you the results according to those conditions. For example, let's say I go for a home loan, right? Now they will just check, okay, बंदे का क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री क्या है, राइट? मेरा सैलरी स्लिप्स क्या है, बैंक रिकॉर्ड क्या है. बट द मोमेंट आई से कि नहीं, मैं अभी अफ्रीका में रवांडा में रहता हूँ, तो वहाँ पे कंडीशन ब्रेक हो जाए, राइट? बिकॉज वहाँ का पूरा इकोनॉमी, डायनामिक्स, इन्फ्लेशन, एवरीथिंग इज डिफरेंट. सो जो लोन एप्लीकेबिलिटी मेरा इंडिया में है, दैट विल नॉट बी देयर इन एनी अदर कंट्री बिकॉज द फंडामेंटल्स चेंज इमीडिएटली. So this is the restriction or constraints of rule-based, and that's what they are trying to overpower with the machine learning, where they can feed more and more and more and more data, and then probably they will. And that's how you must be knowing the chat GPT, the kind of power consumption it does to, respond to a one particular query. Okay, next. So now we live in a corporate world, right? So I had so while making this PPT, I just just thought came in my mind. So there's a lot of going on in AI, but what are the real use cases? Why? What are the people are using? मैं तो अगर पूछूं मेरे ऑफिस में किसी को तो वो बोलते हैं यार सर ईमेल लिखने के लिए हम यूज करते हैं ईमेल बहुत अच्छा लिखता है AI दैट्स व्हाट दे यूज राइट सो मैं सोच रहा था कि किस चीज़ के लिए यूज होता रहेगा AI सो देन आई कुड कम अप दिस पर्टिकुलर रिसर्च एंड it says sorry. So the first donut chart talks about are people seriously using Gen AI in their organization? So it says 39% we are not doing anything yet. They are just following what they have been following throughout their career. 37% people say, okay, we are doing some initial exploration of potential use of cases. So they are still exploring, not, they have started applying those concepts in their day-to-day job. And then we have 24% who are saying that we are investing in JI. Now, the second chart talks about what is the impact it can make in next 18 months. Specific to business areas, right? So when I say business areas, it's about the different departments that you have in the company. So it may be software development, product development, customer engagement. So software development has got the maximum impact, right? Maximum load. So बाद में मुझे पता चला, yeah, ChatGPT is now building a lot of codes for the people, right? And that's why there was quite a human cry. I think in the last 2023 June, July, when there was news from Accenture that they are going to remove 20,000 people, especially the freshers, because now ChatGPT can do their work more effectively. And then obviously the use cases where we can have where people are using it for the maximum to solve their day-to-day problems. So yeah, obviously the knowledge management application. People are using it for documentation part. That's where it is adding more value in terms of even for me. I'm very weak when it comes to documentation. I use ChatGPT there to do my own documentation. Marketing application, we all know, the content, the content part of your marketing strategy. There's a lot goes in the SEO building, and that's where you have to write a lot of blogs, publish a lot of papers, and that's where it is being used. Third, again, code generation that we talked about, and then design application and conversation applications. That's all. Okay, next. So now let's see how it is impacting in our own world. That's project management, right? So this particular survey has been done by our own PMI, and that says 20%, 21% of people using AI right now while managing their projects. 82%, and that too from the senior leadership, they are saying that we are just seeing the impact that it is going to have in the project management. So they are in the exploratory stage, wherein 91% believe that AI will have at least a moderate impact on the project management side. So now we are all our project management students, right? So I want to ask, so all you must be part of some of the other project. Do you think are we using AI in our day-to-day job? Can anybody tell me how we are using it in project management? Yes, sir, please.
We are getting insights
Okay.
for other kind of industry or same industry.
Very good.
Using ChatGPT or Google Bard.
Okay.
We are using Google Bard also.
Nice.
So, it is actually very helpful. But depending totally our dependency on the generative AI should not be there.
Okay.
We have to get an insight for the project management.
I get that. I get that. Any other use case? Yes, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Actually, the question which I understand initially, are we really using AI? So my basic answer is yes. As a human being, we are using AI since long.
Mm-hmm.
It's come to tools right now. So are we really using tools? So I have already answered that question.
Okay.
So are we using AI? Yes, we are using AI since long. That is what the human intelligence we are putting. That is the best answer which I can give at this point.
Okay. Anyone else?
So yes, we are using mostly for dashboards and getting the insights. So basically, there were a lot of data scattered when we do. So for example, if you are doing support, so you get a lot of tickets, then now the AI things or some automations help us to gain the understanding. Okay, it automatically sends the daily reports that okay, these are daily priorities.
So data analysis.
Basically, data analysis and reporting. That is what we're doing.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Please, sir.
My answer is yes. What rightly everybody mentioned. But for parent job, we are using the AI applications if the tools are available in the organization or for the certain projects you run. While our limitation in the second part now is project management, we should not consider that we are having a project where monitoring, we are looking at whether the planning and all of those things are happening or not. That is not job of a project manager typically. It is way beyond that. From there, that is one of the data points that he collects. But the decision making of certain aspects about how the project is running, what are the things that are required, what value addition that a project manager does, has to be an individual, right? And that is where the capability or the ability of a project manager comes in. Right now, we have not advanced into a situation wherein we can teach these things to a machine to take decisions. Right? So I guess the implementation part of actual how to deal with overall project management as a concept has not evolved yet in the overall integration piece of what we're talking about, and hence there is an 80% scope in that. 21% is typically what we're looking at is only errant aspects of a project management that we keep doing it are superseded by the tools that we have.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Or the weekly task tracking or summarization of emails which are on a particular task follow-ups. There also some AI portion is coming out, so that is being used in my organization.
Okay, so communication
So,
basically.
Also, communication or the follow-ups, the reminder, where it will summarize and try to save that human intervention efforts for going through the emails. Also, to identify certain tools for a particular aspect, let's say for estimation, what tools are available. Just data, probably research thing on the web research, but that's in a more constructive way.
Very good. I mean, if we summarize, then we understand that basically it's data extraction, information gathering, then probably in some of my conversation in the Western world, I could see that they are even using it for planning their projects. Because as and when we are evaluating, basically we are progressing in our own circle. So, for example, let's say I'm a marketing agency and I'm managing projects for my clients. Now, in that case also, so let's say till today I have been following a specific template, but as and when the things are progressing, there are good practices that are being used by other companies. There are good templates that I can definitely go for. So, unfortunately, we have these tools wherein we can get the help of the new templates or more progressive templates that we can utilize. And as you mentioned, there's a communication matrix that we can actually take a help from. Industry, industry nuggets, those are required because when we are dealing with a specific clients, if we are well versed with his domain, how they operate, how they react, how they communicate, then we are in more control of the project, right? So that's again a very good use case of AI. And then obviously when you are managing such a huge project, obviously there is a lot of data being generated. You're creating a lot of sheets, you're working on a lot of plans, and then you also require a retrospection where things got wrong or what are the lessons to be learned from these things. So if you can convert that into an Excel sheet, you can obviously get a data model out of it. If you can feed that to a good AI engine, please.
And one good example of AI is there. And UP government have placed AI cameras in 9 sensitive places across the state where they feed all the maximum data of the criminals. Based on that, they are capturing at this place something going to be wrong. And another example in our organization, we are using AI-based application for the to carry the suspected fraudster at the ATM machine.
Okay. Thank you for sharing this. So this is very important. We get to learn a lot new things about what is the application, and sometimes it's beyond our imagination कि यार ऐसे भी यूज हो सकता है, and then हमारा वो ताला खुल जाता है, अरे ऐसे भी यूज कर सकते हैं basically, and then we start using it that way. So I'll tell you my example. So I was working on a proposal with a very giant pharmaceutical company in US, and they were asking us a succession plan. Okay, let's say we onboard you, what will be your succession plan? And till that time, we have not managed a company like this size. And then we decided, okay, what will be the formal structure, to discuss, at least start the discussion with them. We need to have some, formal documentation, and we can go ahead with that. And that's where, and one of my friend, so my daughter actually, that day morning, she was telling me, father, there was an exercise given to us, and I took the help of ChatGPT. I was just off. Was ChatGPT use कर रहा है exercise के लिए, and she is a student of 7th standard. बोला यार 7th standard की लड़की इतना सोच सकती है और मैंने सोचा नहीं. And then I just learned some prompts of ChatGPT कि इसको use कैसे करना है. It took 2 hours, and then I just fed that prompt कि मुझे एक ऐसा documentation बनाना है, and it gave me the documentation. Actually I got the structure of it, right? Because building that structure itself takes days sometimes, but in just hours I could get that structure, and I worked on it, and it worked fine. It went well with the client also. They said that this is really works for us. So that's how sometimes by just sharing and knowing things, it's it just opens our mind. So now, this is where we are getting a lot of impact. But my next question is, are there any areas in project management where it is not at all impacting? You can go to the next slide.
The people aspect of project management or interpersonal skills.
You're right.
Being empathetic,
You're right.
decision making.
Correct. Okay, so we'll see it one by one. And there are, and I think as the person mentioned, it's more important. So these are all technical aspects. And he rightly mentioned it's just part of 20% of what we do as a project manager. 80%, the aspect is all about the humans, the human dynamics, and that's where we as a project manager has a major role to play. And yeah, so it's all about emotional intelligence, and unfortunately the current AIs do not have the emotions, and that's where we are beating them right and left. Otherwise, if you just imagine the the capacity at which the chat GPT works, मुझे ऐसा लगता है IITN से भी ज़्यादा पावरफुल है वो। अगर उसका मैं मेमोरी देखने जाऊँ, जस्ट द शेयर मेमोरी एंड द प्रोसेसिंग, कि मुझे कोई कंटेंट चाहिए, आई जस्ट थ्रो अ प्रॉम्प्ट एंड इट जस्ट गिव्स यू टक 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 टक, इट्स देयर, राइट? सो वी ह्यूमंस कैंट बीट ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट, नहीं कर सकते उतना फास्ट, तो अपने को भी नहीं आएगा, अपने को भी 2 मिनट सोचना पड़ता है कैसे करना पड़ेगा, क्या करना पड़ेगा, दे आर वेरी फास्ट। बट एक जगह पे हम लोग उनको बीट कर जाते हैं, दैट्स इमोशनल, एंड साला वही सबसे बड़ा रोल प्ले करता है प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट में, दूसरा कोई है ही नहीं रोल प्ले करने के लिए। एंड ह्यूमन डायनामिक्स, राइट? ह्यूमन डायनामिक्स इज ऑल अबाउट द ह्यूमन बिहेवियर्स, right? Unless and until you have a tap on human behavior, you will not be able to manage the complete project. Whether you have the tons of money and you have unlimited time, tell me, if the human behavior is not there, कैसे करोगे? अगर मैं आपको बोलता हूँ AI का प्रोजेक्ट जाके आदिवासी लोगों के साथ करना है, मैं आपको पूरा पैसा देता हूँ, कर पाओगे? It's not possible because that behavior is completely different. We will not be able to do that. Next slide. How about creative problem solving? चैट जीपीटी के पास सारा डेटा प्रेडिक्शंस है, सारा एनालिसिस लगा ले, क्रिएटिव प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग कर सकता है कोई? कोई एग्जांपल दे सकता है? एनी एग्जांपल्स प्लीज सर? या प्लीज।
उसके पास जुगाड़ नहीं।
करेक्ट, यू आर राइट, बिकॉज वो मेमोरी से आ रहा है, जुगाड़ नहीं है। उसका रीजन ये है कि उसके पीछे जो मेमोरी है वो उसी में से ला सकता है, उसके बाहर का अगर कुछ बताएंगे ना तो नहीं ला सकता वो, और वहीं पे हमारा जुगाड़ी माइंड काम आता है।
उसको सिखाया गया उतना ही।
करेक्ट।
May not be directly project management, but anything that is creative. My understanding is that AI cannot create a story. AI cannot create an idea.
AI, yeah, I mean as
area which only humans means they can.
जुगाड़ बोल सकते हो आप, आइडियाज तो बहुत सारा क्रिएट कर देता है।
That is something that is from something knowledge, but idea is something.
So I just, I am also a project manager, but little different. I am in the Indian Army. I am posted in Assam, Visamali. So when this Chat GPT thing came, two things. One was created and the one before. We are into, like, I am from the core of engineers, and we position bridges at various places when the balloon will go up. What we will do further on can't say. So here we require data of the axis in northeast or mountainous, lot of riverine terrain. So AI is limited over here.
Correct.
The reason why Ukraine and Russia is in a stalemate, but Israel and Hamas is not in a stalemate, is because of this. Israel has the entire underground tunnel map with their hand, whereas Russia doesn't have any map of Ukraine, which is data where the data is up to date. So that is one thing. Second is regarding creative problem solving. I'll just give a feedback. So my daughter is in class 6. We checked Chat GPT and asked it to write a poem on Pune. It gave a fantastic poem on Pune in English language. Then I am Bengali, so we gave for Calcutta a fantastic poem, paragraph to paragraph matching. The first paragraph is the people, second paragraph cuisine, third paragraph clothes, fourth paragraph festivals. Then we asked for Tezpur, Assam. It gave for Tezpur similar. Then further on, we found that the smaller the town and the lesser amount of data which is available on the internet, the lesser it becomes, maybe creative in that. So what I understand, because I am also a student of data science, what I understand is that as long as data and your algorithms are created intelligently, it will keep evolving. That is what I understand. Thank you.
One more aspect I would like to bring is, the personalization won't be there. So if I ask them a poem on Pune, and he asks a poem on Pune, it will be the same. So the person, I might feel more about Pune, he might feel more about Kolkata or Bengal. So that personal aspect, or I feel that it will still bring just a copy of the answer for everybody. You won't have your personal touch.
Correct. So if you all of have seen the movie मंगलयान, आपको वहाँ पे पता चलेगा क्रिएटिव प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग कैसे, वो कोई एआई नहीं कर सकता, इट्स इम्पॉसिबल, इट्स वेरी इम्पॉसिबल। नेक्स्ट, एथिकल डिसीजन मेकिंग। ये तो बहुत ही बड़ा पंगा है। और पंगा तब होता है जब राइट एंड रॉन्ग नहीं चूज करना है, लेस राइट एंड लेस राइट चूज करना है, या लेस रॉन्ग चूज करना है। हाउ विल एआई वर्क देयर, राइट? वो तो ऐसा हो गया, बीवी ने कपड़े पहन लिए और पूछ लिया मोटी दिख रही हो क्या, क्या बताओगे? एआई नहीं बता सकता इसका आंसर। Am I right? And this situation we face every week, but in our company also, in our project team also. I mean, when you are managing a team of 10 to 12 people, such questions does arise. वो work from home हमारी कंपनी क्यों नहीं देती? अब इसका क्या आंसर दोगे आप? इसका कोई स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड आंसर है? वो बोलेगा यार दूसरा काम अपने बाजू वाला कंपनी तो देता है, फिर अपन क्यों नहीं देते? नहीं, आप बोलोगे नहीं हमारा पॉलिसी है। पॉलिसी क्यों बनाया भाई? सो ये एआई नहीं कर सकता है, ये हम ही कर सकते हैं। Next.
Yeah, one point on this, just out of curiosity, can they be trained on the ethical decision making, maybe with more data? Can they be trained to a level where they can be?
I said right. So again, data part is okay, but decision making में there is a whole lot emotions play a role. वो नहीं कर सकता unfortunately. डेटा आप उसको बहुत फीड कर दोगे, इमोशंस कहाँ से लाओ?
Let's say, I mean, I'm just taking.
क्योंकि आपको हर एक को अलग से हैंडल करना है। अभी आपके प्रोजेक्ट टीम में 2 मेंबर हैं, एक फीमेल है, वो आपके पास आती है लेट्स से कि मेरे घर पे बच्चा बहुत छोटा है, उसकी तबीयत खराब है और मुझे छुट्टी चाहिए, आप दे सकते हो क्या? और दूसरा एक बंदा आता है, वो बोलता है यार मुझे शादी है तो मुझे 15 दिन का एडिशनल छुट्टी चाहिए। कैसे मैनेज करोगे इसको? द इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। वहाँ पे आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि हाँ 15 दिन का छुट्टी है तो एआई अप्रूव कर देगा और बोलेगा नहीं 5 दिन का छुट्टी तो नहीं अप्रूव कर सकता है। बट उसमें इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट?
But this can create data, right? For the
नहीं, बट वो
after
उस मोमेंट के लिए जो इमोशंस इंपॉर्टेंट,
for that moment, yes, right? But after a year,
बट वही सबसे रोल बड़ा प्ले करता है आपके प्रोजेक्ट के सक्सेस के लिए, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि अगर ये फीमेल को मैं आज छुट्टी दे देता हूँ, आई कैन क्रिएट अ गुड विल विच आई कैन लेटर कैपिटलाइज, और वो बंदे को मुझे छुट्टी नहीं देना है, मुझे पता है क्या उसका इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है। अभी एआई डिसाइड कैसे करेगा ना, ये नहीं कर सकता। इम्पैक्ट आपको पता है उस डिसीजन का ऑन अ प्रोजेक्ट।
Yeah, but one point I was trying to make is, this is an emotional aspect of it. Let's say from model perspective, if we have a drone, it is, all powered with AI. And earlier it has, thrown a bomb on some cities. Just I'm giving the, hypothetical incident. And we have fed up data to it that, okay, last time we did this, these were the categories. Last time we did this, these were the categories. Can that, kind of ethical decision making, can it be trained to a level?
Correct. So now there are more aspects to this.
If I can answer your question in a little different, when you talk about decision making, I think I'm effective. There are components. One is data. Second is about behavioral science. Right? Now, behavioral science has different aspects. One we talk about is emotional. So, your decision, if it is driven only by data, you don't need to be taking a decision. It will give you, correct? Which has been thought to be device or a tool. Why? When you have to take decisions which has multiple aspects or multiple entities getting impacted or affected, and you do not have a control of somebody else driving that to do for you, is something to do with a behavioral aspect of those multiple. And hence, even if you teach those things to this AI, it will gather only at that point in time what is there, but it will not give you any clear aspect about an individual or an entity that is what is going on behind it to give you that answer. Right? And I guess that is something which is extremely difficult to come out of, and that is what I feel
Is also again a very very big aspect, because because at the beginning of the session, she did ask a very right question. What is that makes you confident about whether your project will work, it will be successful or not successful? So the belief is, if I motivate enough people, at some point in time they will realize what he's talking makes sense, and then after that they are all aligned. Okay, now it can go, and it can work. So this also आपका AI नहीं दे सकता है अभी के टाइम पे. Next, stakeholder management. It can give you stakeholder, communication plan, but can it tell you stakeholder को manage कैसे करना है?
In the
Human dynamics.
That's it. Next, unexpected challenges. कैसे मैनेज करें? मुझे वो मंगलयान का वो सीन याद आता है, उसमें वो उनका कम्युनिकेशन ब्रेक हो जाता है, देन शी डज दिस, रिस्टार्ट करो यार इसको, एंड दैट स्टार्ट्स. एंड दिस हैपेंस इन आवर लाइफ आल्सो, राइट? समटाइम्स वी जस्ट से यार एक बार वापस चालू करते हैं, देखते हैं क्या होता है, बट दैट कॉल वी हैव टू टेक, राइट? दैट्स मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. एंड वो हमको पता होता है, बिकॉज अगेन देयर इज अ ह्यूमन एंगल अटैच्ड टू इट. आई नो कि what my team is up to there, what my stakeholders are up to there, what is the investment lying there. So all these aspects वो बैकग्राउंड में हमारा चल रहा रहता है. ऐसा अपने को लगता है कि मैंने कॉल तो ले लिया, बट बैकग्राउंड से कहीं ना कहीं वो अपने को सिग्नल्स आते रहते हैं कि नहीं, ये सारी चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेकिंग दिस कॉल एंड विच मेक्स द डिफरेंस. नेक्स्ट, कल्चरल सेंसिटिविटी. I am just discussing this all from the perspective of project management, right? So I have been managing people from across geographies. So I have seen this. Sometimes it creates havocs in project. I mean, if you are working in Middle East, Friday किसी को काम नहीं करना है. आपको कितना भी important काम हो, you will say no. Friday is holiday, boss, off. Same is the case in India, Diwali's. या in Maharashtra, गणपति में. आप force नहीं कर सकते किसी को. You have to understand this cultural sensitivity. बस उसका प्रॉब्लम क्या है, एंड दिस इज जस्ट one aspect of the celebration of some festival, but there are a whole lot other aspects. How you talk, these guys, if you're talking to an American, how should you talk? A Japanese, it's a complete different game altogether. The way you convey the if you want to get things done, there's a whole different mechanism you have to work with, and you have to always be in control of that cultural sensitivity. It is the same case if you are having vendors who are supplying material from different parts of India also. So it can but that's how you have to manage. ये I don't think AI कभी कर पाएगा. This is very sensitive.
आपकी समझ के लिए
अप टू सर्टेन एक्सटेंट, बट यही प्रॉब्लम है सर, एक्सटेंट वाला जो पार्ट है ना वही इधर उधर कर देता है प्रोजेक्ट में. दिस इज माय एक्सपीरियंस सर. इसका डिग्री कितना है आपको पता नहीं है, बट वो आगे जाके कितना बड़ा रोल प्ले करेगा यू सीरियसली डोंट नो. आई हैव सीन माय प्रोजेक्ट्स गॉन फेल जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ 2 people, एंड मैंने लीवे दिया कि ठीक है ले लो, चलो इनको कुछ ना कुछ कर लेंगे. आई हैव सीन माय प्रोजेक्ट गॉट फेल्ड कंप्लीटली. आगे कुछ भी नहीं किया उन लोगों. So that's your call, right? That's your experience. So the question is what's next, right? Because AI is going to play its own part. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं स्मार्टफोन का भी यूज़ ही नहीं करूँगा तो फिर you will be out of the box, right? And there are people also those who say कि सोशल मीडिया पे मेरा अकाउंट नहीं है तो मुझे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. भाई तेरे को सबसे ज़्यादा फ़र्क पड़ रहा है क्योंकि तू कुछ भी नहीं जानता क्या चल रहा है, राइट? आज कल की तारीख में अगर कोई बोले मैं सोशल मीडिया पे अकाउंट नहीं है तो बस ऐसे लगता है देन यू आर मिसिंग अ बिग प्रॉब्लम. देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम क्योंकि देयर इज अ जनरेशन उसका दिन स्टार्ट ही उससे होता है एंड दे आर गोइंग टू ड्राइव. सो इन नेक्स्ट 5 years 75% of the workforce is going to be the Gen Y and Gen Z, and these people start their day with social media. Just imagine what impact they are going to create while taking all their decisions. So it's not about official decisions, but every aspect of their life, whether it is going to be marriage, whether it is going to be joining any specific company, whether it is going to be purchase anything in their life, it is all going to be driven by social media. So it's very important, and same goes with AI. Next slide. And that's why it's more important to adapt, evolve, and transform. Next. And the biggest example of this is the COVID. When COVID struck hard in 2020, nobody knew how the offices are going to be operated. But people adapted, they evolved, and they have transformed. They transformed so far that now nobody wants to come to office. That's another problem. Yeah? But we have seen this cycle, and it just changed in months, not in years. So this is how the technology is changing humans. So we have to be adaptive for AI. We just can't ignore it. Next. So what do we do, right? Nothing? Just wait and watch? No, absolutely not. So we should be waiting for the general AI, which is going to be as capable as human. I don't know whether it will happen in next 20 years, 25 years, or there might be some miracle. Sam Altman को अगर नहीं निकालते थे तो might be chances था, but उसको भी निकाल दिया जिसको चैट जीपीटी सबसे ज़्यादा आता है, फिर वापस ले लिया. उनको ऐसा लगा नहीं, we will make a disaster from the stakeholder perspective. Next. So start with simple things, stay informed. Let's be all aware of what is happening in AI. Let's know all the tools, try it once, see some videos on it, how it is impacting. Participate in all such webinars where at least people are talking about it. They are sharing their own experiences with the AI. Embrace AI. As long as possible, start using some small utilities in your day-to-day life. So you will start getting a hang of it, how AI is actually changing our life. Next, continuous learning and professional development. This is going to happen. We just can't, now this is the era of continuous development and learning, because, last year when I was in one conference, so it was all about people building and skill updation, and they mentioned that 75% of the skills are updating every 5 years. So जो हम लोग 5 साल पहले सीख रहे थे वो आज obsolete हो गया, उसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं है मार्केट में. That's how the world is changing, and the way we are progressing, it might happen that all the delivery boys will lose their job to all the drones. This is quite evident. Already it's in pilots in some part of the world, and it will happen, right? And it's also a part of AI. So AI is going to impact our life. We need to be well aware of it. Soft skills and human abilities, I don't know to talk much about it, but this is going to be the core of the project manager. So we have to have this. Anyways, AI impact our life, but this is going to remain core. Absolutely, it is going to be always a differentiator. So will it cause seamless adoption? कभी नहीं होता है. Never. Next. Maybe not. But it will definitely facilitate faster transition. As sir mentioned, whenever we are doing any project management, we can actually have a lot more studier in regards to their culture, their way of working, and we can use AI for that. वो आपको अभी ऐसे दे देता है. पहले आपको 10 कॉल घुमाने पड़ते थे, 10 लोगों से बात करना पड़ता था, यार इन्फोसिस में कैसे काम चलता है. बट नाउ यू कैन जस्ट क्वेरी समथिंग एंड यू विल गेट टू नो lot of things, the reviews about the employees, how they are working and everything. So we should use that. That will make us in a very good command of the project if you are doing it for Infosys. So in summary, it's all about staying informed, develop AI literacy, enhance your soft skills, embrace data-driven decision making. At least we should start doing this. This is where so I'll just quote one basically my experience, and I'll stop here. So in October, I was on a visit to US, and I was talking to one of our biggest clients. So they are the giant in medical manufacturing. It's a $26 billion company out there in US, and I was speaking to their global PMO head, and I asked him, "Sir, what is that is really impacting you these days? So is it AI?" I just let it, and he said, "Forget about AI. पहले लोगों ने अडॉप्ट तो करना चाहिए बेसिक थिंग्स." वो बोला, "पीपल आर नॉट अडॉप्टिंग इवन एक्सेल, फॉरगेट अबाउट एआई." So, and then he said, "See, even if we get data to take decisions, that is going to be a huge help for any human being, whether he is a global PMO or a project manager or a team member. If data is there, we can increase our productivity anytime better than 50%." That's what he said. And I think we all just align it. That is how it goes, right? हम लोग हमारे टीम मेंबर को भी अगर 4 चीजें दिखा देते हैं, भाई ये ऐसे चल रहा है, तो उसका भी पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो जाता है. Immediately the perspective changes. Because this is how it is working. If you are taking 10 hours, the rest of the team is just taking 4 hours. So immediately, हाँ यार ठीक है, there is a problem in me. Otherwise आप कितना भी दिमाग फोड़ो, नहीं समझने वाला हो. But data can work the wonders. Adapt changing roles. Just 1 minute. Adapt to changing roles. Yes, AI is going to impact. There is a lot more technology is going to come and hit our life. So we have to think about that. We have to think about changing roles. So पहले मेरा role more like a planner था, जहाँ पे मैं बहुत ज़्यादा time invest करता था. Now planning is available through AI. They can give you the plan. Now my role is more about monitoring and execution, more about creating the data that is required, to show to the stakeholders why it is so, why is the status such like. Consider ethical and social implication. Obviously, so whenever we are interacting with technology, we shouldn't be biased one. We shouldn't feeding the data which will give you the wrong results, because what we feed is going to be the output, right? So we have to be a lot careful as a leaders and prepare for AI-driven decision support. This is going to come. This is, as you already mentioned, there are many companies which are already working on these technologies, creating large data lakes, and they are going to get the BI engines, the AI ones, to give you the data, which will make your life easy and difficult also. Okay, and last, this is, so I always end my sessions through the some quote, and this is the quote that I really liked about AI, and it says, "By far the greatest danger of artificial intelligence is that people conclude too early that they understand it." Thank you. Thank you.
We have had one or two questions.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Any discussions? Any sharing? We have 5 minutes, so we can utilize for that. I think मैंने ऐसा कोई ज्ञान तो नहीं दिया आज, बहुत बड़ा था ऐसे, but ठीक है. Please.
Sir, the question is regarding, as you said that this AI is taking on the responsibilities in every sector. So, is there any body which is keeping a watch that, as you said, an example of the drones are also taking the jobs of the employees who are delivering food, like for example, Zomato and all. So, is there any body who is regulating on this, that there is an optimized, like there is a balanced growth between the artificial intelligence and the losing of jobs of the company people, so that there should be a balance on the.
I think इसका क्वेश्चन ना रेगुलेटरी से ज़्यादा ऐसा लगता है मार्केट डायनेमिक्स ही अपना रोल प्ले कर देता है इसमें. आई थिंक मार्केट इज अ बिगेस्ट रेगुलेटर. जिस भी सेक्टर में या जिस भी आइडिया में पैसा ज़्यादा आने लगता है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा लोग एंटर हो जाते हैं, एंड दे ट्राई टू डिसरप्ट इट. आप कोई भी एग्जांपल ले लो. जब जोमेटो अकेला था तो स्विगी घुस गया उसमें, स्विगी घुसा तो पीछे से लोग आ रहे, सेम इज हैपनिंग विद फ्लिपकार्ट। आप कोई भी ले लो, उसमें मार्केट सबसे बड़ा रोल प्ले करता है एज अ रेगुलेटर। सो देर इज गोइंग टू बी डिसरप्शन अगर वहाँ पे पैसा है, बिकॉज एवरीबडी फॉलोज द मनी, राइट? बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट एवरीबडी फॉलोज द मनी। जहाँ पे पैसा है वहाँ पे लोग घुसने वाले हैं, और वो डिसरप्शन करने के लिए कोई ना कोई कुछ करेगा। Jio case is a best example, I would say, the way they disrupted the market. So before Jio, there were 10 players. After that, there are only 3. What else you can talk about? No? So they had pure monopoly that time. So even if they were 10, I used to pay a bill of 2000, 2500 per month. मेरा छुटुर मुटुर मैं नेट यूज करता था। Now I have unlimited access and I am paying just 300 per month. इसके लिए क्या गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया? कुछ नहीं किया। It's all the market that played the role. या बोल सकते हैं ईशा माई ने अच्छा किया, उसने जाके सुबह पापा को बताया कि मैं अभी यूएस से आई हूँ, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग गुड डेटा, एंड सडनली लाइट इन हिज माइंड, ओके नहीं बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, लेट्स सॉल्व इट।
गवर्नमेंट ने एक ही किया कि दे डिड नॉट रेगुलेट, दे अलाउड मार्केट टू रेगुलेट इटसेल्फ।
दे हैव देयर ओन वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट सर। उस पे बात नहीं करते government.
But on a serious note, is there any intergovernmental body or committee who's looking at like how this can be operate in an ethical way? How can you take it forward in ethical way?
भाई मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि टेक्नोलॉजी में ना गवर्नमेंट से ज़्यादा ये जो बिग फाइव्स है ना बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले करते हैं। इफ दे रिमेन एथिकल अनबायस्ड एवरीथिंग विल हैपन। बिकॉज क्या होता है ना, गवर्नमेंट एडवाइजरी बोर्ड में यही लोग आते हैं, गवर्नमेंट को तो कुछ समझता नहीं है, राइट? वो तो उनको क्या समझेगा ना, वो तो इनको ही बुलाते हैं ना फाइनली। दे अपॉइंट ऑल दिस कंसल्टिंग एजेंसीज, सो दे हैव अ ह्यूज रोल टू प्ले, दे डिसाइड, एंड देन यू हैव बिहाइंड माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स कि वो किसी को पता नहीं, बट knowingly or unknowingly they are controlling everything.
Thank you for a wonderful session. And the key takeaway for us would be, giving us the belief and boost that project managers will be still relevant and play a key role in this age of AI.
See, I'll tell you, project manager is such a प्राणी जो कभी पृथ्वी से जाएगा नहीं।
No, but that's a key takeaway.
It's a fact, no?
And then I feel gave us the feeling that okay, in this age of AI, remaining human with all the human aspect is a big challenge, and we have to look forward to bring that in our day-to-day life.
It's a facilitator, basically.
Thank you, and I would like to call on stage Akran to facilitate.